Hello, gaming fans. Last time I broke down the Xbox Series X, so now, of course, it's time for the PlayStation 5. And today I get to see how they stack up. Firstly, look at this thing. It is huge and clearly wants to make a statement. Fans are divided, but you know what? I like how it looks. It's different, and the black and white theme through the console and the controller reminds me of the stylish PlayStation VR headset. But of course, it's what's inside that counts. And while the PlayStation 5 looks very different from the Xbox Series X, if you lift the lid, their specs are relatively similar. Now, if you want to get really nerdy, the Series X has slightly more CPU and GPU power, while the PlayStation 5 has gone for a variable frequency approach that gives developers a little more to play with. But look, it's negligible. Both consoles can produce 4K resolutions, even up to 8K if you really want, and frame rates of up to 120 frames per second, which is why I've been testing them both on this 120Hz television. Both consoles can also produce hardware-accelerated ray tracing, which means more realistic lighting effects and reflections. They also both share the same price tag, at least the flagship models of both, and that is £450. So why choose one over the other? Well, if you're looking for a way that the PS5 stands out, the controller, which is now called DualSense. So it keeps some of the features from the DualShock 4, like the touchpad and the motion sensor and the integrated speaker, but it has two new ones: haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. And all of this tech really comes alive in the pre-installed and pretty cute platforming game Astro's Playroom. The haptic feedback uses dynamic vibrations to produce an impressive range of sensations. You can really feel Astrobot walking on sand and feel raindrops falling on their umbrella. And the adaptive triggers provide varying levels of resistance, making some actions feel much more difficult than others, which provides an element of realism to your play. These features are optional, and some developers inevitably won't make the most of them, but I was really impressed. The PS5 also has a couple of exclusive launch titles, like the sequel to one of my favorite games from the previous generation, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now, loading times were so much speedier than they were on the PlayStation 4 with this one, and the higher frame rate was really noticeable too. Plus, like the Xbox Series, the PlayStation 5 has this feature which they've called Game Boost that makes many older games look shinier too. But at the end of the day, while the PlayStation 5 does have a couple more exclusive launch titles compared to Microsoft's Zero, there still isn't much here for me to recommend spending £500 on either console just yet. The hardware is great, but you can afford to wait.